Hey everybody, Jeff Antoniuk here. Well, this is the first live broadcast that I'm doing in this new video series on my process on getting going with this Baltimore Symphony gig. If you haven't seen the first video, you can check it out on my Facebook page. You can find the first video on my YouTube page. I think it's Jeff Antoniuk-Educator. I think there's two Facebook pages. At any rate, the whole point of this thing is I've got a pretty big gig coming up, and I've got a lot of preparation to do in a lot of ways. It's with the Baltimore Symphony. It's coming up in less than 2 months in early December, and there are 5 shows. The bottom line is I've got a stack here of 93 pages of music to learn, 25 movements of a jazz version of Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker Suite. So you may have heard this in the introductory video. The idea, I play tenor saxophone. I play tenor and soprano saxophone a bunch. That's what I've done for years and years. I used to play all the doubles and alto and baritone and all that kind of stuff, but I put those aside probably 20 years ago. This particular gig is written for baritone saxophone, alto saxophone, and tenor saxophone. So I don't even own a baritone saxophone. So I guess you can maybe see one back there that I borrowed from a good friend of mine and a student. Got an alto saxophone here. I actually just recently bought this. It's an Eastman saxophone. I'm an endorser for Eastman. I play their tenor saxophone, and so I picked up one of their altos. So what we're doing here is showing you the process of how I'm getting ready, and I think we don't see that very much from a lot of artists. We see the final product, right? So that's standard. But I kind of wanted to take you on this journey with me. And one of the big things is I'm having to essentially relearn how to play baritone and alto saxophone. And, you know, the fingerings are the same from tenor to alto, just like an electric guitar is the same from acoustic to electric, right? But it's entirely different. And to play at a crazy high level, just picking up another horn, that's not going to cut it. So I want to just really do a fair amount of playing here and just kind of show you what's going through my head. And I think one of the biggest things is share that this stuff is hard. I'm going to be making plenty of mistakes. It's not going to be sounding good all the time. And just sort of what I'm thinking about and how the journey is going to go to get me there. So I actually have not played the alto. I found out the reed is working today. That's about it. So let me play a couple notes here. So you heard right there, I'm hitting keys I don't mean to hit. They're in different places. That's the level I'm talking about. I mean, I have to learn how to play this dang thing as an instrument first. And as I was saying, you know, here's my stack of 93 pages of music that I need to learn. And, you know, frankly, learning the music part, learning the notes on the page, I'm less concerned with because I can do that. And given a couple months, yeah, I can do that. What I'm concerned about is getting the horn sounding really good. I mean, just at a basic level, right? I mean, just being able to hit a note and know it's going to be in tune and know the pitch is going to be right there, the timbre is exactly what I want. So that's what I'm after. Let me just reintroduce myself. I know we have some people tuning in late here. My name's Jeff Antoniuk, and taking you through this process of getting ready for the Baltimore Symphony gig. So today, I'm just going to be playing some alto, and I'll tell you what, I got this horn 2 weeks ago, and it's gotten a lot better over 2 weeks, but I'm still to the point where to consistently play this thing in tune, to play a note and know it's going to be where I need it, I'm not there yet. I can do that on tenor, I can do that on soprano, but I'm still learning the airstream, I'm still learning the voicing and all that kind of stuff. So I've actually got a tuner right here. Let me just play a little bit and just make some adjustments, but I'm really thinking about the combination of the tone and the intonation. So I'm flat there. The lower notes are flat, the higher ones are sharp. That's what I'm dealing with right now. Still a little flat, but in the ballpark. So I played 4 or 5 notes there, and they're all different on the tuner. Not cool at all. So, of course, my eye sees the tuner, and I can make an adjustment. But that's not what I'm after. It's great I know how to make that change. But as a pro knows, I mean, we know how to make these adjustments. But I need to find that muscle memory on the horn, or what it feels like, the way I have it on these other instruments. So I'm using the tuner a lot for sort of feedback to my eye. I'm trying to play the horn a lot. I'm hosting a jam session tonight in DC at the Brixton on U Street and 9th. I'm going to have the alto there, and I'm going to be playing it. One of the good things in a real context is when I'm playing with the band, of course, I'm hearing the pitch, I'm hearing the bass player, and I'm making adjustments I don't even know I'm making when I'm playing live. So, of course, I don't have that feedback when I'm sitting here just looking at a tuner. So I'm also memorizing the tendencies of this horn. So the E flat and the E are pretty sharp. So the D is pretty well in tune, the E flat is sharp, the E is sharp, the F gets back in tune. So I don't know, as I learn my voicing a little bit better, whether that stuff is going to flatten out at all, or whether that's where the horn's at and I'm going to have to learn to deal with it. So we all do that at some point. But at this point, I don't know the answer, and that's driving me a little nuts. So I'm just putting in time on the horn and seeing what happens. And, we all do this, getting a new mouthpiece, getting a new instrument. We go through this process again. And, as our ears get better, this stuff happens really quickly. But I don't have the luxury of, just taking the amount of time it takes. I need to get this together pretty quickly. So, let me just play a little bit more here. Playing an A triad, A, C sharp, E. The A and the C sharp are a little flat, the E's sharp. Yeah. So I have to really pull the E down, at least for now. So playing that E to the high A. The A is right in tune, and if I do not move my embouchure and do nothing that I'm aware of, that E is just sharp. So near as I can tell, that's going to be a note that I have to learn how to pull down. Now I want to welcome anybody that's coming new. This is Jeff Antoniuk. And just taking through my process of getting ready for this gig. There's going to be about 20 videos showing up. So today I'm just talking about dealing with this new alto saxophone. I'm going to be talking about improvisation, this piece that I have for the Baltimore Symphony. As I've said, it's 93 pages long. Probably 40 of those pages have improvising and blowing. So got that going on. So I'll be talking about that. I'll be talking about the baritone sax. I'll be talking about specific things like voicing and how we work on tone and pitch and everything like that. I'll be talking about philosophy because I've been hired to do this gig. It's an Ellington version of Tchaikovsky, and there's another arranger, my friend Paul Murtha. Ellington only ever arranged about a quarter of Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker in a jazz vein. So my friend Paul was hired to take this and do the entire 90-minute, 25 movements in jazz. So it's coming from an Ellington place, so that means I'm playing alto saxophone, so that means Johnny Hodges, right, the lead alto player. So, so there's Jeff trying to learn how to play the alto. There's the style that I typically play in. Now I have to think, how much Johnny Hodges am I supposed to be channeling? Then there is, how does it fit with the orchestra? Then there is the composer's, or rather the arranger's take on it. Then there's the conductor's take, right? So, I mean, there's a lot of philosophies of music that I'm going to have to get through. And mine are some of those, but there's some external forces I'm going to have to deal with. So, frankly, I'm going to be learning some of this music the way I would play it if someone put it in front of me. the way I think Johnny Hodges would play it. You get the idea. So I'm going to be talking about a lot of different stuff. There's going to end up being about 20 videos as these less than 2 months goes by for me getting ready for this gig. By the way, if there's anything you would be interested in knowing, how I'm thinking about, how I practice, things that I may take for granted that would be interesting to know, please comment, please let me know. I'd love to let you know about it. And as I said, all these videos are going to be archived on my YouTube channel. So I'm just going to do a little bit more playing here. I'm thinking now about the top of the horn. So like a lot of instruments, the horn is thinning out up there, and that ain't cool. So again, when I play tenor and soprano, I think I've figured out how to thicken up those notes up there. And so I know some of the tools. I know it's all about a great airstream. I know it's about opening my throat, you know, all these million things I've been taught. It's about voicing the shape of the inside of my mouth. But it's different on alto, and the things that I know just to do on tenor, I don't hear any difference. So I'm figuring this out as I go. Here's one other catch that you probably know about playing any wind instrument, is that the thicker sound is on the flatter side. If I play real sharp, pretty pinched and thin sounding. If I play flatter, you know, things open up, it's a little thicker. So that's all great, but now I'm out of tune. So trying to deal with that, right? So let me just play up there a little bit. I'm hearing a timbre difference on this horn between the G sharp and the A. The G sharp kind of has a funny timbre. The middle note that I'm playing there. Kind of playing chromatically from an A to a C. It's getting better. 2 weeks ago, anything above an A wasn't sounding good to me, and now those are sounding a little more even. So, you know, just sort of warming up on the horn. What I'm doing, I guess, is I'm spending some time developing the timbre, my tone, what is the best possible sound, not caring about intonation, just developing my repertoire of tools that help me get a good sound. I do that for a while, just thinking, not even looking at the tuner. I don't care how out of tune I am, just wanting to figure out how do I get a good sound on the horn. Then I spend some time with pitch where I'm just really, you know, using my jaw and figuring out how to be in tune. And I think going back and forth between those are going to be good. If I try to do both at once, I don't think I'm going to get in anywhere real quick because I'm be judging myself on one thing as I'm doing the other. Hey, welcome anybody else who's just showed up. Jeff Antoniuk, just talking about my process, getting ready to play a lot of this music. So I tell you what, let me just play something. I think I looked at this once a week ago. Like I said, I'm not really looking at the music a whole lot quite yet. I've looked it over, I've listened to it, but I'm not stressing over that. I'm more stressing over just playing the instruments. This one is called, can we see it there? It's movement number 3. So I think these go along with Tchaikovsky's movements. Children's Gallop and Dance of the Parents. And there's Tchaikovsky, and there's my buddy Paul Murtha, who wrote this thing out. And let me just play through a little bit of this movement. It's a swing tempo of 186. I can guess around what that is. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let me try that again. Okay, so the high note's a C sharp. That one's wanting to be pretty sharp. So on the C sharp, if I put down my right hand, that brings the pitch down a bit. So pitch issues, timbre issues, and then just articulating that high note. That's up there. You know, I'm used to playing tenor. I guess I'm used to playing soprano too. So I play soprano higher than that, and I'm fine. Again, it's just the difference between the instruments. So something else is occurring to me. It says mezzo forte. I never think about dynamics because so much of my playing is jazz, improvising, figuring stuff out on the fly. So I played tons of shows. I've played Pops concerts and big band, but all that was like years and years and years ago. So it's occurring to me I actually need to start looking at dynamics. Wow, okay. So like I said, I'm essentially sight reading that. I haven't played a wrong note yet. And so I'm a pretty good sight reader. Used to be better. I'm pretty good. So my concern is a great sound, great style, and all that. So that's what I'm working on. So it goes up to a high E. Again, it's sharp, right? I can pull out and make it in tune, but then the bottom of the horn is going to be crazy flat. So I don't want to do that. And so intonation aside, I'm not happy with, I want it to sound thicker up there. So those two notes, just a high D and a B. I'm going to play those back and forth and just see what I can do about thickening them up. Now, thankfully, it's sharp and thin, so I'm going to be able to open up, drop my jaw. It's going to help the pitch, and it should thicken things up a little bit. So, man, alto saxophone, dang, this thing's kicking my butt. So, as I say, I'm going to be doing lots more playing for you guys and, you know, taking you through the music. For this Baltimore Symphony gig that's coming up, and you know, talking about all kinds of specifics. I'm going to talk about the baritone. I'll talk about equipment, I'm sure, and all those kind of things. So, you know, if there's anything you'd like to know, anything you're interested in, I would love to know your process. Really, what I want to do is share the behind-the-scenes stuff. And I've got to tell you, it's scary because I'm putting this out there in front of my friends and great musicians who I really respect, and I'm not sounding my best, but that's what practice is, right? So I hope you guys appreciate the honesty, and I'm excited about getting this stuff taken care of, and in 2 months sounded great. So anyway, I'd love to know, you know, your thoughts on this. I'd love to know your process and how you get ready for this kind of thing. And, you know, anything you'd like to know, let me know about it. And I'll be doing another, I guess it'll be the third video coming up a little bit later this week. So thanks for tuning in, and I'm going to hit the shed here and thicken up some of these notes. Thanks.